tow vehicle. The Ohio rust has taken its toll. The coil spring and shock tower mount is a little bit rusty, and didn't know if I wanted to try to attempt on this myself, but I looked it over. Every time you start a job, you should look and see if you think you have all the right tools to do it with. I think I got everything I need. I found a part online, so I ordered that. It's coming in, so I gotta get the old part off. We're gonna use Mr. Plasma Cutter today. If you've ever seen a plasma cutter work, it's liquid fire from electricity. I don't know really how else to explain that. You'll just have to look these up. This is a Hypertherm 1200, I think it is. Cuts through 1-inch thick plate steel with the touch of a button. It's quite impressive tool. So anyhow, I gotta use this to get the shock off because I'm too lazy to take off the threaded nut that's rusted on. So anyhow, I'll show you an up-close view of this, and then we're gonna plasma cut and start working on the rivets that's riveting this thing to the frame. This is more than I usually like to do in this shop, but wasn't even going to film this. But I thought, well, maybe somebody out there wants to see how to do this. You know, I got to say it's good luck. So here we go. Okay, so what I'm working on today is an 05 Ford F250 Super Duty Lariat. What did Lariat? Anyhow, 6.0 diesel. First thing we're going to do is we jack up the truck, put the frame up on jack stands, then you pull the wheels off, and then we take the bottom bolt out of the shock, which I've already done, and that allows the front end to drop down. You will have to do both sides in order to get this to drop down far enough to get the coil spring out of there. Right there's the coil spring, and it goes right in here. It goes from this pedestal up to, well, there's supposed to be a pedestal here. As you can see, the Ohio rust kind of got to it. Very, very bad. The other side, however, is just fine. I'm not sure if this was a defective part. Maybe it didn't get acid washed. Maybe it got too much acid on it. Didn't get powder painted. I don't know what the problem was. But this part here is definitely failed. So this holds your coil spring and your shock. And this shock's ruined anyhow. We're going to take it off and we'll get new shocks. So right now we're going to try to plasma cut some of this. You might notice this piece originally from the factory was riveted on. There's 5 rivets here. Oh, there's 2 down under here. 1 here and 1 here. Joy of joy. So I'm not having much luck with pounding them out. I grounded the heads off. This one here I actually drilled out. This one I tried a power hammer and it didn't really do anything. We might end up plasma cutting these two. So I don't know yet because I haven't really got into this, and I really haven't even looked it up to see if anybody else has done this. So we'll try to dismount the shock. Like that. It couldn't be easier. Got that right off there. Isn't that fun? Now we got to work on the rest of it. That small fire you seen was just the rubber grommet. It's no big thing. Okay, so what I've done is got the shock out of the way. I ground off these rivets, and I plasma cut the bottom 2 off. And then I got in here behind here with my persuasion bar, and I think it's going to plink off here I'm not real sure. I got it moving, so we'll see if it's going to go. Yeah, it's just held on by the bottom two rivets. So we'll try to sneak in here. See if we can get it. Wasn't short now, was it? Woo! Yeah. So, yeah, a little rusty. A little rusty. So, frame's not bad, still powder paint on it. I'll knock these rivets out. And the new part's supposed to be in tomorrow, and it'll just bolt on. We'll probably drill that out to 1/2 inch and use National Fine. 1/2 inch National Fine bolts is what we'll use. Probably put that right in your face. Anyhow, so for now, can't drive them if they're rusted. Rusted, busted, can't be trusted. I have the part off, and we pulled it off the rivets. So what happened now, these rivets are still sticking out. What I'm doing is I'm grinding them down to the frame because they won't pound out. They're swedged into the frame. Got them down flush, and then I'm going to use an air chisel to knock them out the rest of the way. So I've already done 2 of them. Pretty successful. I'll show you how this is. About like that. A lot easier this way. So I got the new part in today, and let me grab that. So this is the new part. It's actually a Ford part, and this will stick up in there, and then the new part will bolt on. And I'm probably going to use 1/2 inch National Fine bolts to put this on. But I want to show you the difference between this new one and the old one. It was actually pretty scary with the old one being on there. Old part versus new part, and what you might notice right away, of course there's a big hole here, but this is the part that actually holds the coil in there. This is a separate piece of metal that was welded in here to go down through there and hold that coil. And this one's completely going. And you can see there's that separate piece of metal, the ring, what's left of it. I've never seen anything. Like I said, this is only 15 years old, but this is ridiculous. So we'll get this new part on, and like I said, the other side looks good. This is all still there. It's all good. The only thing I can figure out is this sat right on top of the air conditioner condenser, and it probably dripped water on it constantly. That's the only thing I can see that's different between this side and the other side and the rest of the truck. But make sure you check over your equipment, because You don't want something like this happening. Well, there you go. I got all 7 rivets out of there. It was amazing. I didn't think it'd be that easy, but it come out pretty good. So there's all 7 of them. Had 3 there, 2 there, and 2 underneath. Yeah, the 2 underneath was almost a bare. Wasn't bad. Just got the grinder in there, upside down, grind them off, and my air chisel fit underneath there, plinked them right out. Here's the one that I had drilled all the way through. It still had to be chiseled out, but yeah, that's, so I got that off. I'm gonna get some real good rust paint, or rust proofing paint that they make that'll go on here, keep this from rusting any further, and we'll bolt the new one on. All right, I thought maybe we would see how much the old part versus the new part weighs, just to see how much metal we lost. So the old part weighs, looks like 11, 12, I'm gonna call it 13 pounds. And let's see what the new part does. Oh my, that's right at 20. So yeah, bit of a difference there. Wow, a lot of metal loss there. A lot of metal loss. Well, make sure you check your vehicle over, check it for rust, because you don't want this happening. Okay, so got the new part on, I got it snugged up. Now we're going to torque them down a little bit. This is when you need to find a friend to help you. Ted volunteered. Volunteered. Now, you know how that works. Yeah, you in the front, come on down. So we're just going to give him a quick little zap. Which one you on? That one? So we'll do the rest of them like that, and then we'll start putting the spring and everything else back on. Won't that be fun? The dang thing's in there. What we did was pulled out this bolt here that attaches the sway bar from one side to the other, and that let the axle drop down a little bit farther, and then was able to push this up in there first, and then we ended up using a pry bar. It was about 4 foot long, getting there to push the axle down a little bit. And then we lined up this coil spring, and I don't know if you can see or not, but this end of this spring fits in a little socket, and that has to go right there. So you want to make sure that that's the way you took it out, and that's the way it goes back in. And then now all we have to do is put the new shock on there, get it back up where it goes, and other than getting the bracket back on here, I'm going to call this puppy done. So that's how you change a front spring perch, or whatever you call them things. So Ted here is going to show you the 4 foot bar that we use.
You want to use big boy tools for big boy trucks, and this is the pry bar off the fire truck.
Yeah, we use that to get the axle to come down a little bit farther. All right, so we got everything finished. We got the shock back in there. Everything's buttoned up. I've got to finish a bracket here, but other than that, this side's done. I'm going to put a new shock on the other side. So I hope you found this video somewhat helpful. If you ever want to try to do this, it is possible to do. It's just going to take some time. It don't take a whole lot of tools, specialty tools. You wouldn't have had to use the plasma cutter. You could just use the grinder, and you do need probably an air chisel. But hopefully you found this somewhat informational and help you out. If not, no big deal. But this was my project for the week. It took, I don't know, 4 evenings, just messing around a couple hours in the evening. So there you go. Drive them if you got them. See you next time.